he's only my second.
So Steve Young game, much, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The Chargers, by the way, the Chargers beat the Steelers that year to get into the Super Bowl, and the Steeler quarterback was Neil O'Donnell because he took them on a deep championship run. The Jets signed him as a free agent, and that didn't work out.
Yes, and we do have a comment from producer Linda because she doesn't want to interrupt me. So I do my picks basically as a person who doesn't know football. So let's see how Jack's theory works for me this season. Spreads are not my forte. Ooh, she's using French words, which really gets me crazy. Great show as always. Thank you, producer.
But Linda did good.
Anyway,
she's awesome.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. She did. But she's kind of like you. I have to explain every week the spreads to her. Who gets the points and who. So anyway,
year, I haven't asked you for no advice this year.
No, except no. You have not yet. Not with this anyway. So
yeah, anyway, not with this.
Let's start getting to the. let's start doing our picks against all the spreads. And Sonia, when you need to cut out, just say goodbye. But I think you're going to stay for this whole segment. I'm down deep. I really believe that you'll stay for this whole segment. All right, thank you. There you go. So we talked about the Jets against Minnesota. That game is coming up in about a half hour now. So I mean, they're on the field right now. They're kind of warming up. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is punting the football. I don't know why. I'm just making that up. He's not punting. I just thought maybe. Anyway, so most of us, I think, are going with Minnesota. If I'm not correct, let me know. Rodgers is banged up. There are a couple of things. Breece Hall, I mean, he's having problems. The Jets defense is having problems. The biggest thing I think is the Minnesota defense I'm concerned about against Aaron Rodgers. If anybody could figure it out, it might be Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. I don't know if his mobility is there because I know Minnesota's going to come after him. So I think that's the biggest concern, right? Would be the Minnesota defense.
Yeah, I would think so. The Jets' ability to pick up their blitz. Jets are 2-2. The Bills are 3-1. As long as the Jets can hang a game behind the Bills, even if they lose today, if the Bills lose as well, things will be fine because Miami, I don't think is going to be there at the end, and New England's not going to be there at the end of the year. So they can still win their division. And I wouldn't panic. The worst thing could happen if the Jets are non-competitive, or let's say they lose by 17 points, and they're breakdowns, and then the discontent starts. That's the worst thing. If they lose a close competitive game, it's not that bad, even though it would bring them to 2-3.
And I want to welcome in the Zodiac fans as I successfully got us on Zodiac for the last hour here. Glad to have you guys aboard too, as we're going to be bringing them their sports information as the choice of a new generation. Let's see if us old folks can keep them going. I mean, I'm not speaking for Sonia. James is getting pretty old though. He's kind of catching up.
Thank you.
Yes. So anyway,
Carolina. I'm trying to adjust to the new generation. I met a young man and I thought he was insulting me, and I didn't know he was complimenting me. He said something about me being a dope, you dope or something, and I got a little annoyed at the time. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, but he was complimenting me. I was told later.
Yes. I mean, you're dope. You're invigorating.
Well, you thought he was saying
anyway.
Yeah, like whatever. He's a good young man. Good young man.
You're a bad man. You're a bad man, Jack.
Yeah, you're bad. We don't use the word dope drugs anymore, though. They don't say that.
No, but hey, Jack is still saying groovy, so that's the way it is right now. I'm just letting you know what generation he's from. So we got Carolina at Chicago. Guess what, Sonia? I'm going first. I'm taking Carolina. How's that? I think Carolina wins this game in Chicago because I just think Carolina's team is playing well, and Chicago's going to take them for granted like they're supposed to beat Carolina. But guess what? The Red Rifle's going to be shooting bullets today. He's going to be shooting touchdown bullets today. They're going to beat him by at least one score, Sonia. How's that?
First of all, thank you so much, Mac. I just love you. I just love you. You and Linda are amazing, and that just made my whole day. So I feel like, I mean, I'm gonna be a homer here. James, you can feel free to bring out the violin. I feel like this is the game that we have to show. Like, okay, we gave Chicago everything we had. Like, we got to show up and basically say, okay, yeah, Bryce ain't playing, the one that we sold everything to you guys for. But this is a reunion with DJ Moore, who we gave Chicago, and Caleb Williams. Let's be honest, he has not looked like how everybody thought. Jaden Daniels, on the other hand, LSU, shout out to them, is balling out with Washington. And Caleb is just not doing what we thought he could do. In fact, he kind of has, in my mind, little increments of Bryce himself. And so, like you said, Red Rifles already cocked and loaded, ready to go. The offense is playing good. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Deontay Johnson actually takes the field since he didn't practice. But we need him. Chuba Hubbard looked good. Both sides of the ball looked amazing in the last game. I'm not just saying that as a fan. I'm saying that as they legit did. We did lose the game, but they took a heck of a fight. And I think today in Chicago, I've got on my McCaffrey jersey. Shout out to him. Hope he gets well soon, even though he's been injured. But I just feel like it's going to be one score, even if it's down to the field goal. Eddie Panero will get it done. It's probably going to be close, but I think on the road, Chicago will succumb to the Carolina Panthers. Then we'll get our second win, which will be great because we only had 2 wins the entire season last year. So if we get the second one today, that means we're going to at least probably get a third one. Yay!
Sis, that was so eloquently spoken. But I'm just going to have to disagree with that, though.
He ain't asked you. He ain't even asked you yet, man.
But I got to tell you, I'm giving facts. I'm going to add some facts here.
No.
You lost 2 linebackers. You lost 2 linebackers, one Shaq Thompson to Achilles, and I'm sorry, I hate to hear injury about players. And you lost Josie Jewell, he's injured also with a hamstring. And the Bears just got their running game up. They finally found a sighting with DeAndre Swift. He had 3 yards rushing and 72 yards receiving. So you're going to have to they're not going to really need a lot from Caleb Williams. The running game is good. And also, Chuba Hubbard, I agree with you. He's had 100 yards per game the last 2 games. But he's going up against the number 10 defense in the league.
Yeah,
so I think that, I would love to see a win from Carolina. I'll be honest with you. I'm not playing against them. I'd like to see y'all win. Go up there because you think you need one, but I just don't see it happening because I just think that if the run game is good for Chicago, their offensive is going to be good as well with passing as well. Caleb, like I said, he's not going to have to do much.
Well, the key is just keep the offense off the. It's gonna come down to game clock management. It's gonna come to basically the Panthers literally managing the clock, like staying on the field as long as possible. It's going to make them tired at the end of the game, but knowing that they're missing all these defensive people that they need, it's going to be key to keeping the offense off the field for Chicago.
Jack, I don't think you can analyze it better than they just did here. I mean,
no, I can. But there's something thought-provoking with the Chicago Bears. We talk about soap opera teams. That we always hear about their turmoil, their this, their that. And, oh, hey, yeah, there you go. What, is that real?
Yes.
Oh, because I have my oh, cool.
They had Uncle Jack.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Okay. We talk about soap opera teams. And the Chicago Bears are now turning into one of the biggest soap opera teams in the NFL. Think of all the quarterbacks drafted in recent years. Has there been a bigger soap opera quarterback than Caleb Williams? Something about him is headlines this, the turmoil that is. I mean, he's got a lot of heart that he doesn't get intimidated. He's going to keep battling. But if Chicago loses today, they're going to be one of the most talked about teams in the NFL. They're close to that already, like what's going on in Chicago, and it's a big city. So the Bears, they're under a lot of pressure, the Bears, to win today, because if they lose, as I said, they're going to be headline news in the NFL.
Well, we shall see. We'll see what happens over there in Chicago.
I do have to cut out.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, I would figure you to be the type of woman who'd have a pit bull or something, not a dog like that. So
I like that, Jack. You hear what he's saying? Okay, I got a pit. That means I'm a gangster. I love it, Jack.
No, that doesn't mean that. They're nice dogs. I'm just saying. I'm not stereotyping.
Oh God, no! I have a little Yorkie too. He's 6.
Not at all.
Well, you guys out.
Yeah, not only, but I mean, it's not a pit bull, but it's it's a dog. It's all I got to say. I mean,
we have fun on the show. That's a nice dog. Yeah.
See you guys later.
Sonia, thank you.
Have a good one, Sonia.
And the dog is welcome to come back to the show.
You go.
You hear that?
No, I don't know about that. I mean, once you leave, I think once you say you're out, you're out. I don't know. But anyway, we're pushing on to Baltimore and Cincinnati. I think only one person took this game. Linda, as a matter of fact, was the only one that was that come out and said Baltimore's going to beat Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, they're -2 guys. Cincinnati loses this game. What's next? I mean, they'll be at the bottom of the division. A long way to go. Their defense isn't that great. Baltimore is physical, of course, and Baltimore looks like they have the better team. But does Cincinnati say, listen, we got to win this game, and we're going to win this game, and they win this game? I don't know, guys. I think what do you guys think?
Yeah, well, they're 1-3 now. If the Bengals lose, they're 1-4. I won't say they'll be out of it. I mean, that division, I can see the Steelers coming back to the rest of the division. The Steelers aren't that strong of a team. I don't think the Steelers are as good as a team as, let's say, the Ravens in that division. And the Ravens are about ready to take off, as are the Bengals. So this is maybe the game of the week. I mean, you talk about as far as quality goes. And Jamar Chase, he's talking a good game now, how ready he is, how he's into it. Joe Burrow is ready to hit his stride. But with that said, I mean, I'm going to go with the Ravens in a close one, like a high-scoring game, something like 27-24. I'm a little surprised the Ravens have had some problems at cornerback, and especially their rookie Nate Wiggins, who has very high on who they drafted, is still trying to find his way. But it was the same thing with Trent McDuffie when the Chiefs first got him, and look where he's at now.
What do you think, James?
I'm going to have to agree with Jack. I just think, the Ravens are coming in with the number 1 rated offense in yardage. They're getting like 429 yards a game, and they're leading the league in rushing. And I think that's the key, because Joe Burrow and those receivers are finding their stride. So I think they could win, but you're going to keep that offense off the field by running the ball with a heavy dose of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. And I just think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be a high scoring game. I just think that they're going to dominate offensively with time of possession, and I think they'll win. But it'll be close, maybe like in the teens, somewhere around there.
I'm going to go opposite both of you. Cincinnati just flat out needs this game to me. I don't think they come back from this. If they lose, they're not going to be in the playoffs, I don't think. I think Pittsburgh's stronger than them. I think Baltimore is stronger than them. Cleveland, it might be a toss-up. I mean, Cincinnati has got to win this game to get back in this race here. And I think just because that's the case, they're going to play out of their mind state, even on defense. I think they get by in a close game. We'll see what happens. Arizona, +7.5 at San Francisco. We think Arizona's good, then we don't know, and then we think they're good, and then we don't know. Listen, I think that Washington was an anomaly. I think Washington surprised the hell out of Arizona. They're going to San Francisco. Arizona always plays them tough. San Francisco has a lot of nicked up guys. We don't even know who's playing and who's not. Kittle is hurt with his ribs. He probably will go. I don't know how effective he'll be. We still don't know about Samuels. We know their star running back is out, and he's going to be out for a while now. McCaffrey's going to be out for a while, believe me there. And their offensive line is a little banged up. maybe Arizona. I mean, if you look at the movement in the bet lines, it's going towards Arizona. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think Arizona can stay within the 7.5 points, or maybe even pull up the upset today?
I'm going to tell you, your analysis was spot on. It was excellent. But I think we have to throw all analysis just about out the window because of the weather conditions. It's going to be close to 100 degrees. It's crazy. Players are going to be out there. I could guarantee you a lot of players who normally are thinking of winning the game are going to be just trying to survive. They're playing this game out of obligation, and they can't wait to get out of the heat. They're going to be exhausted. There are a number of players who are dreading playing this game, hate the idea of having to play the game. And the NFL office wasn't being helpful. The 49ers wanted to wear like the all-white uniforms, but they were told they had to wear the home uniforms. The lightly colored uniforms are better as far as absorbing the heat. And the NFL wouldn't make that accommodation. And I went to a game years and years ago in Tampa Bay. It was in September, the Lions against the Buccaneers. I couldn't sit through it as a spectator. It was like, 90 degrees and you're high in the 90s, high humidity. I had to go to an air-conditioned room inside the stadium with a friend of mine. He was a season ticket holder. So he had the accommodations for us to go to the room and watch it off TV rather than sit in my seat at the stadium. And all I could think of was how could these guys play in these crazy conditions? The heat and humidity, when it gets to you like that, it's dangerous. It could be dangerous. And so for all the talk about strategy, a lot of these players on defense who normally are going to make tackles aren't going to be able to tackle the same way. They're going to be sluggish.
Come on. Enough already. San Francisco plays in that climate almost every year. Arizona comes from a hot area too. The benches are cool. The benches are cool now. They got huge fans throwing whatever at them. They got cool benches. They got cold packs. In the old days, they had to huddle around the garbage can and it was on fire for them to stay warm. Let's stop crying about the weather. Who you got, Jack? Arizona plus 7.5.
With that said, I'll take the Niners, and I would give the point. With that said, I'll go get conventional with. They got their players back, as I said. But I can see a slop. I think it's going to be the sloppiest game of the week. Okay.
Okay. All right,
James.
I'm going to keep it short. This is another one of those games that I mentioned, like run the ball, control the clock. Jordan Mason has 447 yards through 4 games. So that's about 110 yards a game, man. So you don't have Christian McCaffrey, but you got this kid. He's filling in nicely. And, you got some of your players still on the outside position, the skill position. I just don't – and I think I like Kyler Murray, and I like the rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got like 247 yards, 15 catches, 4 TDs. But it's a little up and down. And James Conner is a good running back. He's no slouch himself. But they're going to run up against a wall in that defense. I like Fred Warner. I think he's top-notch. He's probably the best linebacker in the game. I just like San Francisco at home. And it's probably going to be a close game, but I still like them to edge it out.
Fred Warner did not practice either on the last practice. We'll see if he comes in there and plays. I'm going to take Arizona with the points. I just think it's going to be a close game, and I think Arizona does have a possibility of upsetting them. Buffalo -1 at Texas. We'll see. This is an interesting game. I mean, Texas came back last week, played really well. Buffalo got a little embarrassed. Does Buffalo come out and try to establish a run game and then go to Josh Allen? Does Josh Allen run a lot? Or listen, does C.J. Stroud and that running game, which they do have a good running game, light them up. It might come down to the defenses. I'm not really sure, guys, who I'm going to take here. So I'll turn to you, Jack. What do you think? Can Texas beat Buffalo?
The Texans, the Texans. There'll be a lot of throws to the great tight end, and I know everyone's focused on Stephon Diggs' supposed revenge game. I don't think it's a revenge game for Stephon Diggs because he was with the Bills for 4 years. And it's not like they just wanted to get rid of him. He kind of forced the issue in a way to get out of there. And I think the Bills are a little overrated because they got off to a good start this year. Everyone jumped on the bandwagon. They made them Super Bowl contenders automatically. And they made Josh Allen the second best quarterback in the NFL, which he might be, actually. But everyone, was getting a little carried away, and they lost quite decisively to Baltimore last week, 35-10. That could have been an aberration. And they're playing at Houston. I just think Houston's a little better. Buffalo lost some players in the offseason. And you don't replace those players like Poyer, on defense and so on so easily.
All right, and that's coming from a Jet fan hoping Buffalo loses. Also, we've got to throw that in there. James, what do you think is going to happen here?
I think it is going to be a revenge game versus Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is going to go there to come down there to prove I didn't need you. We don't need you, up there. It's showing the beginning of the season that they did not need him. Now, mind you, the kid, who's it, Khalil, the receiver, he's not playing, right?
Yeah.
Keon Coleman.
Right. Shakir is out. Shakir is out.
That's kind of a blow to the offense, I think, because he's their best receiver right now. But I think, they're going to depend on the tight end. I like Dalton Kincaid there. And Keon Coleman, the rookie, we'll see what he does. But I just like Josh Allen. I think he is that guy. I think he's probably he's doing much with less. Baltimore, he ran into a wall when he got to Baltimore. Baltimore's just a really good team. They're better than their record shows. And I think Houston, it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Nico Collins is showing his own down there. He's leading the league in receiving yards.
Yeah.
But they're also missing. Aren't they missing Joe Mixon? Or is he back?
He's out. Mixon is out.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough on them as well. So that I look for them to throw the ball a lot. So I think I agree. Josh Allen is up there for MVP in my vote. And him and Lamar Jackson. So. But I like the Bills.
Lamar Jackson. Wait. They're 2-3 this year. The Ravens. I only hear Lamar Jackson in the MVP.
They're 2-2. They're 2-2.
2-2. I'm sorry. 2-2. Yeah.
So.
Well, how the MVP voting at the end of the year. Let's say a team like the Ravens, they have a great year. What's probably going to happen? Lamar Jackson, who's won it a couple of times, is probably going to lose some votes because of his own teammate, Derrick Henry, coming on board. People are going to say, well, Derrick Henry did this or that. So it would actually hurt Lamar Jackson a bit more, a bit in the race. And people would look at Josh Allen and say, well, who does he have in comparison? He lost Stephon Diggs, and look what he's still doing.
I take golf off.
To me, it's
look at him. I would take Josh Allen, Darnold, and Lamar Jackson.
Too early. It's way too early. We're only in the fifth game, and we're going to say who's MVP. We still got another 11 games, 12 games to play. Let's just pump the brakes on that. Yeah. Listen, just for name picks, I'm going to go with the Texans. Indianapolis +3 at Jacksonville. I think Anthony Richards still might start. They might let him play. I think it's a huge mistake. Sit the kid down. Let him relax a little bit. He's got some kind of abdomen injury now. I don't know what's going on with this kid. Put Joe Flacco in there. Right the shift. Colts have a good defense. They got a good running game. They got a all-pro quarterback, former all-pro quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Let him play. Let Richardson take some time off, heal up. When he's ready to come back, bring him back in. I don't see the rush of why you want to hurt this kid more than he's already hurt. I'm taking it.
No, I remember when Anthony Richardson got drafted, you got the feeling that the GM didn't really want to draft him, but they said if he turns out to be a great player, we'll never forgive ourselves for not taking him, because they knew what a great talent he was. Maybe not a great football player, but he was so athletic and he had such an upside, even though he was so raw and so limited in his experience. So they drafted him in large part based on potential. Okay, and he still has the potential. I mean, he could be great. You don't have too many quarterbacks who could run like him. You don't have too many quarterbacks who are as strong as he is, as fearless as he is. He has a really good arm, but he's injury prone. I mean, what good's he going to do you if he misses 6-7 games every season?
I don't know. And Matthew, let me tell you something. You can't even predict who's going to win the next game this year. Don't tell me you can predict who's going to be the MVPs. That's a bunch of nonsense. And let's see, go Bills, sign Titans fans. Well, so he's a Titan fan anyway. So that maybe explains a couple of things. I don't know. Anyway,
I got the Colts too. I don't have to
really go. I think it's a little too early in the year to be rooting so hard against the team, even an opposition team. You want the teams in your division, you want to stay close to them if you're a fan of a certain team. I mean, look at the Giants. The Giants are 1-3, but if you look at the teams ahead of them, what are the Commanders? The Commanders are 2-2, I believe. And the 3-1. I'm sorry. I mean, the Cowboys are 2-2. The Eagles are 2-2. So if the Giants win today, I mean, you're still there. They're still hanging around. And you figure the Commanders are not going to have that great a record when all is said and done. Who knows? Maybe the Commanders go 11-6. Maybe they go 8-9. But you get the feeling the Packers are going to pull away from the Giants. And you have divisions like that. And then you have other divisions where in the AFC West, the teams like the Raiders who are 1-3, they're 3 games behind the Chiefs already. They're not catching the Chiefs at any point.
Listen, I kind of agree. I think it's the teams overall in each division. We talked about that. I think the NFC East is going to take a step back where there's going to be a lot more teams that might be in the mix that might not. But like in the AFC North, you can't let Pittsburgh and Baltimore just keep getting away from you, because I don't think you're going to catch up. I think those teams are too good over there. So, you're going to there's so many good teams. Let's put it this way. There are so many above average teams this year that you're going to have 9-8. You might not be good enough. You might have to be 10-6 in one of these divisions, one of these conferences to make the wild card.
Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears. If you're the Bears, you're 2-2 right now, and you're not unhappy about being 2-2.
No, not at all, Jeff.
The Bears are going to have a hard time sticking with those teams, because the Vikings 4-0 are probably going to have a good record when all is said and done, even though maybe they're playing a little over their head. The Lions are going to be good the rest of the year. The Packers are going to be good the rest of the year. So if you're the Bears, you're barely hanging on right now, 4 games into the season.
I don't think so, Jack. I think if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to win. I think the Bears are fine. I think. I mean, that's what I would if I'm the Bengals. I mean, I have got to go out there like it's the Super Bowl this week. Everybody's got to play their ass off to win this game. Or if they lose and they drop another game, they might be possibly out of it. Let's jump over to Miami and New England. We kind of talked about this with Keith Angle. Listen, New England's a good shot to win this. And I'm not saying it's going to be a monumental thing to beat Miami right now. They're pretty even. I mean, they may have a better quarterback. New England, Brissett is better than any quarterback they got on Miami right now. And listen, New England defense is better. I think is better than Miami's defense. They should win this game, right?
Yeah, I agree that they should win the game. But here's a stat that I saw that was alarming. They have a good running game, a good running back, Stevenson, but he's had a fumble in every game he's played. That's scary. So that's something probably to watch. I like Miami's defense. They're decent. The question is, both teams, is their quarterback play? And, you know, unfortunately, not have, I mean, I don't know what Huntley's going to do this week, but maybe if they can, he can just keep it on the ground. It's just a different style offense. I don't know why they even brought Huntley there. He's not that style of quarterback for that style of offense.
He's a running, right. He's like a running quarterback, and they need someone who can get the ball out to their wideouts.
Right.
You know, Jacoby Brissett, even though he's not a starting caliber NFL quarterback, he's won games, you know, that he's played. I mean, he's not bad. I just wouldn't want him to be my franchise quarterback. I don't think we can all agree on that, but he's not bad. You put the right team around them, you can win with them if you put the right team around them.
Yeah. There have been running backs that have big fumble problems. Nick Chubb's, believe it or not, one of them. You go back to Tiki Barber, they actually had to have him carry the football, and he fumbled all the time until he stopped doing that. And you know, it's something that you can. It's something that you could fix. I don't know why they haven't tried to fix it yet. I imagine they're trying to fix it. I wouldn't think they're saying, okay, don't worry about it. So we'll see what happens with that. Cleveland plus.
I just want to say we haven't heard discontent with Mike McDaniels in Miami with the players. We haven't heard the wideouts, you know, complaining that much, because I think they understand Tua's out. Tua got injured. You can't blame the organization for not addressing the quarterback situation.
Yes, you cannot, folks. We have a guest that's coming in. I know he's got a baseball
Philadelphia sports fans are a horde of inhuman monsters who deserve neither sympathy nor understanding.
I'm about ready to beat him down. Yeah, sometimes I seem to do that to some people. I bring it every play of every game, all day.
Guys, rough game last night. The Mets kind of put it on you a little bit at the end there. Philly bounced back today, right?
They better. They better. The bats just did not wake up at all, which was a little frustrating. Obviously, Wheeler, great outing yesterday, but all for naught.
Yeah, it is. It is. What do you think about we're kind of going over the games right now, Pax. We already told your picks, what they were. You want to. I mean, I don't know how fast you got to leave here. If you want to go over your NFL picks, I'll give you your picks to make sure. If you got time.
I have like a minute. I'm actually about to film a commercial, so it's like that's why I had to get ready early this morning. It's life is crazy here, so.
No problem. No worries. I'm glad you stopped. All right, so you've got Washington -3 over Cleveland. You like the Commanders here.
I do. I think that Washington's playing real good. I think Cleveland stinks out loud. So I think Washington is going to wind up taking this one and covering the spread.
You got Denver. I went with Denver too, Pags. I think that Antonio Pierce have a chance at losing the locker room. He may lose the locker room
here. Who Denver's playing, correct?
Yes.
Denver's defense has been out of Denver's defense has been amazing. And I feel like that's going to be the biggest part here. That under at 35 is one of the lowest unders I've seen in a long time for a football game. And I think that they definitely go under. So I think Denver's going to win this game, and it's going to be like a 10-9 game or something similar to that.
Very possible. You like Pitt, so do I against Dallas. Dallas is lost to his main pass rushers, plus Brian Cook is out. Their wide receiver. I think Pitt just can beat him just because of that alone.
And this is one of those rivalries that nobody ever talks about. Pittsburgh looks at Dallas as a big rival, where I think that they're going to be ready to play. And I don't think Dallas really thinks of Pittsburgh like a rival. So I don't think it's going to be as big a deal for Dallas. And they're just not going to have the sense of urgency, where I think Pittsburgh has got to win every game they can because really they're not very good. And I think that they're going to be able to keep this streak going of above 500 this year again, even without a quarterback, despite a quarterback, really.
Well, there'll be people that disagree with you there. That's for sure. I might be one of them. I think Fields is getting better every game, but he's not one of the top quarterbacks in the league as of yet. That's for sure.
Right, and right now
So
he's
Pat,
managing okay. So, and that's really what it is.
Yes,
He's
yes.
managing.
So
these
we'll let
games
you go.
okay for wins.
I agree. We'll let you get going to your commercial. Don't forget to mention me because, if you mention me, maybe you'll get another view. I don't know. But anyway, Pags, thanks for coming in and stopping in. We love you. We'll see you again next week, Pags.
Absolutely, guys. Let's go Phillies. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. So there you go. The Philly sports guy, of course, he's all excited because his team is in the playoffs right
by the
now.
way, a little
Jets.
update.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jack,
Jets went 3 and out on their first possession, 1 yard on a handoff, incomplete pass. Then they completed an 8-yard pass to Garrett Wilson, but he was 1 yard short of the first down. It drives you crazy, those plays where you the short pass, you're counting on the receiver to run for the first down, not behind the line of scrimmage.
I didn't get a chance to speak on that. I just wanted to say that one little nugget about that game. Their defense is like Superman in Minnesota, but their one kryptonite is their pass defense. They rank 32nd in the league, dead last. So if one thing, there's one saving grace for them. When you said he got 8 yards, I think their passing game is going to be much better for the Jets, and I got them winning this game.
I'm glad you got them winning this game because Jack, that will make Jack happy. But of course, Minnesota.
Well, Sam Darnold's on a 3rd and 2 on this play. He has the ball. He's fading out. He has some time actually. First down, Minnesota to the down 31.
So there you go. So let's get back to the predictions here, guys. As we're moving along, LV against Denver. I don't know what you guys think. I think Antonio Pierce with Devontae Adams out. Max Crosby is unhappy. I mean, maybe he went a little too far with the old school stuff. He's taking advice from Tom Coughlin. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here. I think he's in danger of losing the locker room. And I think with that, Denver ends up covering and beating the Raiders. What do you think?
I look for low-scoring game. Denver's won on defense. And last week against the Jets, terrible field conditions. And it's not like Bo Nix did much at all. They're not going to generate much offense against the Raiders. And as far as Pierce losing the locker room, I don't know about that. I mean, I haven't heard that. This is the same locker room who went to the owner, Mark Davis, and they wanted Pierce to be their head coach. Pierce is the coach. He has to tell players what to do. So what's so bad? If they don't like it, if the players don't like it, just get rid of the darn players until the players get the message. You like to talk about old school coaches, Max. Mm-hmm. I mean, Pierce is kind of old school like Coughlin is. Coughlin was his coach. So Coughlin apparently is a mentor. He has to do it his way. This is how it has to be. I'm not letting Devontae Adams tell me what to do, and that's that.
I don't disagree with you at anything you said there, Jack. The only thing I know is that when you got somebody in a locker room and you don't have leaders that can, like Max Crosby, there's rumors that he wants out if Devontae Adams goes. I don't know if they're true or not, but that's some of the rumors. I think that there is no leadership at all in the Raider locker room, and that's what happens when you don't have a starting quarterback figure in there. Or Max Crosby's supposed to be a leader. I don't know if he is or not. If this is true is what he's saying, then he's not much of a leader either. And I agree with you, Jack. Get rid of both of them. I agree with that. But still, it's a cancer in the locker room right now. That's all I'm saying.
And I agree with both of you guys. I think that ultimately what the coach says matters if you got a hard-nosed guy, but he's got to get a grip on the locker room. But you have to have core leaders in those positions. On defense and offense, and you don't really have that in the quarterback area. You don't have it defensively, and if you got a guy like Devontae Adams not happy and he wants to leave. This kind of reminds me, even though I don't put Devontae Adams in the same ilk as Terrell Owens when he was with the Eagles in 2004, that division in the locker room, it happened. It happened between Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens, and you saw where their season went. And this is a different team. They're not that great. And to have this type of problem, they're going to be even worse. And so I do agree, Mac, that the locker room will be divided at some point. He's probably going to lose the locker room. And I expect them to lose this game going up against the 2.0 Orange Crush. That defense for the Broncos looks to be the real deal. So I don't think the Raiders. I think Pierce is probably going to be on the hot seat at some point.
Well, but along with the points, I look for 14-13 type game, Denver winning. And if that's the case, if they win by 1 point, the Raiders would cover the points because the Broncos are favored. But I look for low-scoring game one way or the other.
I think you're right there, too. I don't think Denver has enough offense to make it a high-scoring game. Neither does the Raiders. So let's Green Bay and the Los Angeles Rams, we kind of covered already. Los Angeles Rams are just beat up, and Jordan Love at the end of the game looked really good. I think his number one receiver is out for this game. Jordan Love's number one receiver is out for this game. I don't think it hurts him. The Giants plus 6.5 against Seattle. I think, who knows? Maybe my team can win a game here. We'll find out what happens there. I think Seattle's really banged up on defense, and the Giants, of course, don't have neighbors, and they may not have their number one running back, so that'll be interesting. I think we both all of us like against Dallas. I don't know if Jack picked Dallas or not. I'm going to look real quick. I think somebody picked Dallas. Let me see. Jack, what'd you pick? Did you pick Dallas?
No, I like this. No, they were one of my picks, but I like the Steelers in a 19-16 type game.
Me too.
I like the Steelers.
And the last.
Go ahead. I like the Steelers as well because they got a top 10 rushing offense, and their quarterback's a rushing guy, and the defense of Dallas is just not that good.
Okay. All right. Monday night, of course, we got New Orleans.
Minnesota's up 3-0, by the way. They kicked the field goal, 53-yarder.
There you go. So 3-0 so far, Minnesota. I think there was a sack or something that happened.
Yeah, the Jets sacked them on third down. Pushed them back, but they made the field goal anyway.
All right, there you go. 3-0 Minnesota right now, folks. We have the Monday night game. Of course, James thinks that New Orleans is going to win the rest of their games from now on during the season here. We all know it's true that it's not going to happen. So anyway, I like Kansas City minus the 5.5 in Kansas City. That defense is just too much, I think, for the New Orleans offense. And that's all
I do too, but you get the feeling of Kansas City, who's 4-0. You get the feeling that they should really be 2-2. They haven't played that well, but the thing about it is they know it. They know it. They're not going to be complacent. Rather than think, well, we're 4-0, everything is fine because they're winning. I could guarantee you that those guys in that veteran leadership are thinking, we better pick things up. We better make adjustments because we're going to start losing some games if we don't. So I don't think they come again. They play in a Monday night game against New Orleans, and New Orleans is an intriguing team. They have some really nice weapons, and David Carr can be a good quarterback now and then, a very good quarterback. He's the type who'll go from a dreadful game and then throw 4 touchdown passes the next game, and then have a dreadful game the following week, and then have a great game the week after. He's an in and outer. And New Orleans defense, James, I mean, are they going to cause a lot of trouble for Patrick Mahomes or what?
I think so. I just think that the issue is it's not going to be in the Max smiling. I think they are better. The passing, we got probably arguably, I think, the top 4-5 secondary. I mean, we got some great players back there. So, and they have maybe 1 or 2 great skill positions in Kansas City that are legit. And you lost one of them, and I'm not expecting Travis Kelce to be any good. He's right so far this year. His mustache is about the
Yeah,
best.
he had a good game last week. against the
All they
Chargers.
need, all they need is one skill player, and we know who his name is, and that's that. That's all. That's all they need to beat the Saints.
Zach Rashi Rice is out, so I know he has Xavier Worthy, but the Chiefs are actively looking, on the market for receiver. And I could tell you the Raiders who are in their division aren't going to trade Devontae Adams within.
I was speaking the one skilled player named Patrick Mahomes. That's all
I know what you're saying. I'm going to tell you right now, Mac, on our fan.
We're not going to argue about this, James. We're not arguing about this. You think the Saints are going to win? I don't think they're going to win. We'll argue about it when the game's over, or at NFL Download tonight. I had to get our plug in. NFL Download tonight, me and James will go at it talking about this, because I want to get to some NFL news here that we covered in the beginning. And this is brought to you by, folks, one more time. Those are nice commercials. They have nice commercials on Zodiac too. For the Zodiac family out there, thanks for having us on Zodiac Global TV. Go to ZodiacGlobalTV.com. Check out the choice of new generation in sports and music. Guys, former legendary defense lineman J.J. Watt says, let the players express themselves. So what, they're taunting each other. So what, they're throwing footballs at each other, calling each other's names. Let them have some fun. What the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about? James, what is he talking about?
Well, there's a difference. I agree with you, Mac, but there's a difference between celebrating and taunting. I'm all for the celebrations. The modern player isn't just going to hand the ball to the ref, after a touchdown, after an interception, and be all modest. They want to express themselves. It started old school when players would score a touchdown and they would slam the ball down, kind of spike it. But now the players enjoy having these themes. They recover fumble. The whole defensive unit runs to the end zone and they're posing. They like their little acts, their little fun things. The Redskins used to do that, the Hawks or whatever. They
had the fun bunch. Yes, they had the fun bunch.
Exactly.
But that was after a touchdown. And of course, that became illegal. That's why it became illegal. Let me tell you something. I don't have time to watch a guy recover a fumble and run 100 yards when the play's over and all the defense joins them down there and they do a bowling skit. I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a damn about you make a sack when you're down 25 to nothing or 28 to nothing. I don't give a damn about that. Let's get the game moving along, J.J. Watt. You're an idiot for saying that. You're a great player. You're an idiot for saying that. I don't care about their personalities. Just play the damn game. Let's get the game over with. Hand the ball back to the official. Let's keep it moving, because it's way too slow as it is. I don't want to see people getting up and having celebrations every time they make an ordinary play. It's ridiculous, James.
These young men they need a way to express themselves. They've been in baseball, they get a home run, they get back to the dugout, they're like going this and that.
Some of those things I agree with. Some of those things I agree with. But like, if you're at home, you catch an interception, everybody's losing their mind, it's pandemonium, you run to the end zone. I don't see a problem with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you're losing, if you
intercept it or pick up a fumble and run it to the end zone and you score a score, I'm for it. Just because you recovered a fumble because the guy dropped the ball doesn't mean that you have that you did anything fantastic. You were there. You fell on the ball. Good for you. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Let's stop extending all this nonsense, man. Stop it.
Well, I'll admit this, Mac. You're right on this. If your team is down and you're out of the game and you score a touchdown and you start celebrating there, that's push. That's way out of line.
I agree with that. Totally.
Okay. Josh Allen, we already talked about. We talked about the problems in the Patriots locker room, more or less. Maybe not. Maybe so. We'll find out. Let's see. Just offensive, and the game is going on right now. They're ranked 22 in scoring against a great Minnesota team. Right now, Minnesota's up 3-0. The Jets offense, how much time we got left? 6:14. They haven't scored nothing yet. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers can get a big play here, maybe in the first half or the end of the first
You know
quarter.
what's bothering me about the Jet offense this year? Garrett Wilson from last year was one of the top receivers in the NFL, and he hasn't had any chemistry with Rodgers. It's like Rodgers is trying to force the issue. It's like he throws it to Wilson now and then. You get the feeling just to make Wilson happy, to make it look good, to keep him in line. I got to see some chemistry going on over there. I mean, Breece Hall's struggles have been more on Breece Hall himself. You can't blame Rodgers for any of that. Breece Hall had, he didn't pick up on one of the big blocks last week and Rodgers got sacked. But the connection with Garrett Wilson, who should be one of the best receivers in the NFL, as I said, isn't there. And if the Jets somehow got Devontae Adams, do you know what a setback that's going to be for Garrett Wilson? You've got a star receiver then, Garrett Wilson, and they drafted Corley too. So let's start utilizing him. But we'll see.
Maybe the Raiders want your star young receiver Wilson for Devontae Adams.
If I were the Raiders, I'd do it at a snap of the finger.
Right. Me too. Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. They can't score in the first quarter. Now he's the offensive coordinator, right? And he studies the films. He looks at the team. It's supposed to be. Looks at the other teams. Looks at what his team's doing right or wrong. But now that they have a bye week, he's going to take a deep dive to find out why they're not scoring in the first quarter. They have not scored 1 point in the first quarter in all their games so far this year. If you need to go in a deep dive now and you can't figure it out as you're going along here more, maybe you shouldn't be the offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
A lot of them are that way, guys. You have an offensive coordinator who just gives the players the play, saying this is what we have to run. What is wrong with getting the input of the starters to get them all in the room? Saying, guys, we're all in this together. I have certain suggestions. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that way what you're saying would be better? What suggestions? Work together. Don't just take plays from an offensive coordinator unless the guy's a guru, with a great reputation.
I think, Jack, that's done. Wait a minute, James. Just one real quick. I think that's done every week by every offensive coordinator. They put together a game plan. I would imagine that the quarterback is there, the running backs are there, the wide receivers are there, the linemen are there going over this offensive game plan. It's not just a coordinator saying, I'm not going to tell you what we're doing to the game, and then I'll give you the plays. This is worked on all week. I just think that right now there is some kind of pull going on in that locker room, James, and I don't know if you're going to bring that up or not. I just think that Kellen Moore has had problems in the past as offensive coordinator. He goes to the Eagle, and maybe those problems are continuing.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, there's a reason why he got ran out of Dallas. I don't know. I don't know if I thought he'd probably be the guy. I'm looking at Philadelphia I thought they were the pride of that Eastern NFC East division, but they're just not doing it on offense. And I don't know. You have too much talent. Maybe they're not scoring because they don't have AJ Brown. That's probably a big reason that they're not scoring. There's a big weapon out there, and you got Dallas Goedert. He showed what he could do against the Saints. He had 170 yards. You got to figure something out. You got a big weapon in Saquon Barkley. There's no way in that city. There's going to be some unrest if they don't do anything to figure that out, because that city is not patient at all. That fan base is not patient. So you got to figure it out. And that's like you said, that's something you should have done. You should have been thinking about before you started. You got too many weapons. You got a good offense. The onus is on him. So he's got to figure it out.
Yeah. Listen,
Sam Darnold was hit hard, and he's very slow getting up. He hasn't gotten up yet. He got sacked. They hit him after he released the ball.
All right. So there you go. Jack's update with the Jets and the Vikings.
Still down, Sam Darnold.
Well, he's taking a break. He got hit hard, Jack. So it looks like maybe it was
commercial now. Yeah.
All right, and we're going to go and get this over with as we're at the top of the hour. Of course, we're watching the Vikings and the Jets, as I know you all are doing right now or whatever. It looks like maybe he got hit in the abdomen. We'll see what happened, if he's okay or not. Maybe in the ribs. Hopefully he's okay. So anyway, folks, thanks for joining us here on the Big Football Show. Enjoyed having all the comments, all the views, all the likes and loves. And tonight, me and James will be on NFL Download, and we got a secret guest we're not going to tell you about right now, but he'll be coming in at 7:30, and he knows a lot about football. So we'll expect to have you there at NFL Download, 7 p.m. tonight Eastern, as we go over the games that are going on, all that good stuff. And me and Jack will be back tomorrow with the Mac and Jack Sports Show. All kinds of sports here on the National Streaming Sports. Have a great Sunday, folks. Enjoy your game. And as always, I hope your team